People who treat their pets like their children are often told they are avoiding real relationships. But according to psychological research, that is completely false. Many of these people did not wake up one day and decide to love an animal more than humans. Life taught them. Children grew up and left. Partners died. Families fractured. Friends disappeared or moved to different cities. What remained was a small living being that needed them every day, no matter what state they were in. That responsibility became a reason to stay alive when everything else felt meaningless. Pets arrive without agendas. They do not keep score. They do not weaponize your past. For someone who finds human relationships exhausting, this matters deeply. There's also something important about innocence. Animals do not pretend. They do not manipulate affection. Their joy is direct. Their fear is honest. People who have lived through betrayal, emotional games, or long-term disappointment often become deeply sensitive to this purity. They protect it fiercely. They cherish it. They see it as light in a world that feels increasingly harsh and transactional. You start watching them the way new moms and dads watch babies. You learn the meaning of a tilt of the head, the pause before a tail moves, the exact look that says excitement, the one that says worry, the one that says stay with me. Their eyes become a language. You read it faster than words. You play with them. Your voice softens. Attention narrows to the moment. There is no past being dragged in, no future being negotiated. Two nervous systems syncing through movement and sound. Play is where the boundary between species dissolves. You throw something, they bring it back, you miss on purpose, they explode with joy, you laugh in a way you rarely do with adults. In that loop, roles flatten. There is no owner and owned, no species hierarchy. Just two beings agreeing on a shared game and staying inside it. Psychologically, play creates equality. Whoever can respond, adapt, surprise, and be surprised becomes a peer. There is also something disarming about how fully they commit. They do not half play. They do not multitask. Their attention is total. Being met with that level of presence rewires how you feel about connection. Many people realize here that what exhausted them in human relationships was not intimacy itself, but the constant self-editing. When you wrap your arms around them, your body softens before your thoughts do. The grip is not tight, not demanding, just enough to feel another living weight leaning back into you. In that moment, attention drops out of the head and settles into the chest and hands. You feel warmth, texture, breath. They relax into you or they do not. And when they do, it feels earned. Their body gives consent through trust. That trust lands deeply, especially for people who spend much of life guarded. Being chosen for closeness without having to ask or explain carries an emotional relief that is hard to overstate. It tells you that you are safe enough as you are, right now. There's also a wordless tenderness that opens in those moments. You become aware of how fragile they are, and, by extension, how fragile you are too. Over time, they become witnesses to your private life. They see you cry without asking why. They sit near you when you are sick, tired, or numb. They celebrate your smallest returns to energy. They mark time, mornings, evenings, seasons, aging. When you look at them, you see years of shared ordinary moments, and the bond feels as real can be. People often become fluent in a language most humans forget how to speak. Observation. They notice subtle changes in behavior and appetite. Many of these people have lived through periods where they themselves were not listened to. They learned what it feels like to have needs minimized or emotions waved away. Caring for an animal becomes a corrective experience. They do for another what was not always done for them. They become the steady presence they once needed. They also tend to be comfortable with quiet companionship. Sitting in the same room without talking. Sharing space without performing. This is something many human relationships struggle to allow. With an animal, silence is not a problem to solve. It is a shared presence. Over time, This retrains the nervous system. Connection no longer requires constant explanation or emotional labor. These people are often more honest about attachment than most. They do not hide behind irony or emotional distance. They admit they care. They admit they depend. In a culture that praises independence above all else, this honesty can make others uncomfortable. It exposes how much everyone needs something steady to orient around. There is also a quiet honesty in how these people relate to time. Loving an animal teaches you impermanence in a very direct way. You watch them age faster than you do. You notice small changes earlier than anyone else would. You live with the knowledge that the time you have is limited and unextendable. That awareness sharpens care. It makes affection practical instead of postponed. You pet them now, you stay a little longer. You do not assume later. Over time, this kind of bond softens certain defenses and hardens others. You do not lose social skills. You lose patience for nonsense. This is why many of them appear selective, even distant, with people. Their emotional system has learned what stability feels like, and it resists anything that threatens it. They protect their peace the same way they protect the animal sleeping beside them. This bond shapes their very sense of identity. When you live your life through the lens of care for another being, the world reorganizes itself around that purpose. Decisions, big and small, are filtered through the question: how does this affect them? Travel plans, work hours, social events, even moments of rest, all are calibrated to include their presence and well-being. The pet becomes a quiet moral compass. Until one has loved an animal, a part of one's soul remains unawakened.